Hello and welcome back to Blue Crescent Tarot. My name is Deanne and I am back with a second video tonight to carry on with the second installment in this mini series, which I don't know what it's called, maybe Tarot Oracle Mashup or something. I don't know. I'll probably use lots of different kinds of cards, so we'll see what we end up calling this. But my first video with this kind of concept, I used the Prisma Visions Tarot and the Sacred Rebels Oracle. And for this second installment of this, I thought I would use the Wayhome Tarot. This is one of my absolute favorite decks. It's got to be in my top 5, right? It's hard to say, but this, I love this deck. I love. This is by Bakara Wintner and Autumn Whitehurst. I think you can see this. I believe this is still available. The book does not come with it, but there is a book that uses the images of these cards. I think the book was created first, and that is called WTF is Tarot, and I have that and I love it. Slight issue with how the quartz are described, but it's fine. I think it gives an accurate aspect of the court cards. Anyway, this is a conversation for a different day. I can get into that later. This deck is beautiful. It is amazing. Absolutely one of my favorites. And I decided to use that for a little mashup for this tarot and oracle combo. The oracle deck that I'm using for this is Denise Linn's Sacred Traveler Oracle cards. This does come with a guidebook and I believe is still widely available. This is a Hay House deck. So let's just look at the backs of these for a moment. I just chose these decks kind of randomly. They're just sitting in piles around me and I picked out 2 that I thought might work well together. The idea of this mini series is to show you how I use different types of decks together in a reading, and how I typically build up a really large, really similar to a Romney spread, but then I layer stuff on top of it. So that's sort of the idea. I just wanted to show some kind of building blocks and break it apart to show you how I build those. So here are the backs of the Wayhome Tarot. I think my lighting's pretty good and flat right now, so hopefully that's showing up okay. And then the backs of these oracle decks is one of my favorite backs ever. Just love it. This also needs to be edged. Look at that. Oh, goodness. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just draw one tarot card and one oracle card to start and see how they kind of link together, or how one might suggest a certain energy or suggest a yes or no or a certain path, and see how we can use those tarot and oracle together. Okay, so in my first video, my first card was 4 of Wands from the Prisma Visions, and now I have 4 of Pentacles from the Wayhome. This is one of my favorite 4 of Pentacles too. We have the frog on the lily pads. You know, she's kind of holding those all together. That's her stability right now. She's oh, and again, we have a little water element mixing in, so she's going with the flow, but that's her earth element. That's her groundedness, those lily pads, right? So nice little combination there. And then let's see about the oracle card here from Sacred Traveler. I love Denise Linn decks, I must say. Everything I have of hers reads so well. Yeah, it's just great. Okay, let's see. Gates of Triumph. Success expands in your life. So with this, again, this 4 energy is for me about stillness and kind of holding it all together, taking that time out. If we're thinking about, is this stillness or motion, waiting or going, this is stillness, this is waiting, right? Not the time to act. But after we sink into this 4 energy, like I said in the previous video in this series, this is a good time for planning. And then we have this gateway, right? From this moment of stillness, then we expand into success. So these two work really well together. Oh, and look at the back of the Wayhome, and then the sun in the archway through that gateway and the oracle. See how well things work together? So again, really just kind of playing around with these and wanting to show you how decks that seem pretty different from each other can really work well together. And just like that kind of sunburst coming through, I just love to see what little synchronicities come up when using different decks. So beautiful. Let me do just one more example here and see what we come up with. So again, I'm sure many of you read with tarot and oracle together. As I had mentioned in the first video, a lot of people in the community, it seems, have I think a lot of people are, oh, I'm mostly tarot, and that's great. I did a deck count of my stuff maybe a month or two ago, and I had at that time exactly 50 tarot and exactly 50 oracle, and I would not have guessed that. I would have said, oh, I think I have probably 65, 70 tarot, and the remaining amount would be oracle decks. It was 50-50. And at that time, I was expecting 1 tarot and 1 oracle in the mail. And so I think since then I've maybe added 10 to each one of those groups because, you know, lockdown and treating myself. And for the first few weeks I was saying, oh, well, my gas money is tarot money now. So, but that's fine. Took a little spending break, but then I ordered a couple things a few weeks ago, took another little spending break, and then I ordered a couple things the other day. But again, I will save that because I think I'm actually going to do an unboxing video for the stuff I got the other day, because I don't think they're going to be as popular in terms of like unboxing and walkthrough, stuff like that, but we'll see. Anyway, getting very excited about all that. I won't even say what it is. So here I am, I'm shuffling. So what I was starting to say was, I'm sure many of you already use, you know, tarot and oracle. A lot of people will do a spread and then of tarot cards, and then we'll pull an oracle card to sort of summarize or reaffirm what that main message was. And I think that's beautiful, but I just am showing how little building blocks of how I use oracle cards so that I can use them more often. And maybe it's not just one oracle card. Maybe I pull an oracle card for every single tarot card out there, and I just make this huge web of notes about what everything means. And so I'm just kind of showing little microcosms of those examples, right? If I have 21 cards out in a Romney spread and an oracle card layered for each one, and maybe a little Lenormand on the side, I'm just taking apart a little piece to kind of show you what I might work, how I might work those. Oh, beautiful. So the moon, oh, these cards are a little slippery, so they're not that matte, but they're not glossy, sticky. They're kind of thin but nice, just in case you're wondering about this deck, because it's beautiful. This is not the card I drew, but just as an example. Look at how beautiful, 9 wands. So anyway, just in case you're wondering about this deck, it feels high quality, but it's not super thick. So if you're a riffle shuffler, you might love this. Moon card for the Wayhome. So beautiful. Check out that reflection. So, and we also have the crustacean black, like the claws coming out of the water, just in case that is super important for you to have. Hopefully you can see that okay. So the moon card, and then from the Sacred Traveler. Let's see what we have there. Okay. Stepping into power, you are strong beyond measure. So this is cool. We have a couple people following this main character, or maybe they may be spirit behind him. I don't know. They look pretty solid, but however you might interpret that, and the book may go into detail. But I kind of get a little hermit vibe here because of his lantern. Stepping into power. And I think that can work very well with the moon, right? This looks like a powerful image here. So I might say there's darkness, right? We have the dark night with the full moon, and we have the night sky with the stars. So right away, these both have that sort of dark and light energy already mixed and already working together. And we have maybe this fearful, paranoid, shadow self, the one who's not so sure, stepping into this power, stepping into knowing and confidence. And so we can talk about that here as well, that this is stepping into power. So I would really say in this case, instead of the oracle card clarifying something or answering a question, that these two just really work together. This is saying, yes, trust that moon energy, trust that positive side of the moon energy. I don't typically read reversals, like hardly ever. So I read them holistically based on the cards that are around them, because I tend to have a lot of cards on the table. I say it's about that shadow self and that enlightened self, right? So we're working through this, and then there comes a time that you step into that power. And that's exactly what this oracle card is saying. It's saying, yeah, it's about both. It's about the quote unquote reverse meaning and about the positive meaning. This is just saying, yeah, trust that moon card, step into your power. So that would be my examples. Those would be my examples for using the Wayhome and the Sacred Traveler Oracle together. I might do it like this. I'm going to try to work out my camera situation so that I can show you how it would build a big spread. But again, just showing how decks you may not even think about putting together, one tarot and one oracle, how these can work together and enrich your readings. If you're looking for something to kind of add, maybe you're in a little lull with your tarot practice and maybe you want to try something a little different, just grab two random decks off of your shelf and see how they might work together. So that, I think, is going to be all for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon for another one. Thank you so much. Love to you all.